What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? It is Stacy Patrice here. What the 14-day countdown to clarity vlog series, counting down to my Earth Day. And every day as I get closer to my Earth Day, I get more and more and more excited. I feel this bubbling, wonderful, amazing, fruitful energy, and I'm like, ah! And it's not because it's an Earth Day. A lot of times I feel around my Earth Day like, oh, it's just another year, no big deal. But after everything that I've been through in the past year, which honestly has not been a lot, it's just been a lot for me to handle. And with everything that's going on in my life right now, all the new beginnings, all the new people, new energy, ideas, ventures, projects, business, clients, everything is just bubbling. It's just percolating right now. Of course, I would say percolating, but it's just percolating right now. And speaking of percolating, today's topic for the countdown to clarity is about vibrating love. Of course it is. It's about vibrating love. And what vibrating love looks like to me or feels like to me is definitely what are the things that you do to keep yourself at your ultimate level of shininess. And I always say shininess because I realized that was a quality that I was looking for, not just the quality I was projecting, but when I look at men and find out, he's attractive, what I'm looking at is just the level of shininess. Like, is this person standing in, I love my life, I'm passionate, I love doing what I do, and furthermore, are they able to maintain that level of shininess? And yeah, we all have dips and ups and downs, and so I'm not referring to that. I'm just referring to, do you know how to encapsulate your shine from the inside out? Are you able to cultivate that? Are you able to do those activities and those things that have you just absolutely radiant? And I said to myself, this journey that we are all on is about how do you cultivate, captivate. And for me, it's also about seduction. And not seduction in the general sense of, you have to get what you want. But for me, seduction is more catered to that life force sexual energy that I've talked about before. When you have this creative energy that's bubbling over, it's actually your sexual energy that's bubbling over, which is actually your life force energy that's bubbling over. And so when you have this trinity and the three of them are operating in tandem, then what you essentially have is the it factor, is what I like to call it, the it factor. And the it factor is just simply that you own whatever it is you're about everywhere you go. You vibrate love. Even if that love is geared towards a particular audience, it doesn't matter. Everyone's attracted to it. It's the person who walks out of the house and say, man, it's people of the same sex hollering. It's people of the opposite sex hollering. It's old folks hollering. It's young cats hollering. Like, what's that about? But you understand the energy. You understand that somebody felt a disturbance in the force and they were like, whoa, who is that? So we all we all have that factor. We all should be cultivating that factor. It's all about coming to that point where you're not afraid, you're not scared. You become, what my motto is, the quote that I created for myself, which is, be the you that you are when no one is looking in front of everyone. You are the orchestrator on this journey of vibrating love. You are the captain, if you will. You are the lead goddess. You are the lead wizard or god of this journey. And it's just fun to think about because I think a lot of us like to stay in the realm of safety. And we know this energy is in us and we feel it and we like it. And, I'm only going to use that when I'm at the house. But if it's who you are, it's who you are. You can't hide it. Just because you're hiding it from a few people doesn't mean it's hidden. It just means their eyes aren't trained. My eyes are very trained. So anyway, one of the things I love to do to vibrate love is I love to find music. Because for me, it's really about music. Music is, the accompanying rhythm to my heartbeat. And so when I think about what type of music moves me, it's often slow, melodic, sensuous, cultural, sexy, energetic, rhythmic, something that usually I can dance to. So of course I'm not, adverse to house music, some electronica music, some music, that people would, percolate, house dance, disco, dubstep, or even, those beautiful, wonderful ballads and songs that people can do interpretive dance or choreography to. It's all about dance for me. It's all about dance. Lots of drums, lots of bass. This one CD I cannot put down. It's my boy Gabriel Wallace, otherwise known as Manuals. If you know him, man, you already know. But if you don't know him, check out his CD, Mid One. It's out there. You can just Google Gabriel Wallace Manuals Mid One. It's an instrumental, live instrumentation. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed with the CD. I have pulled this CD out in some of my yoga sessions. I have pulled this CD out just on my own. I've belly danced to this CD. It's that all-purpose CD, if you dig. The music that really gets you going is all about, how do you vibrate on love? If you're listening to music that's talking about, creeping and dipping in, and I'll take your woman, and I don't care, and I got two of them, and we up in my car, and it's like, if you're listening to that, that's what you're going to attract. That's who you're going to be. You're slowly downloading into your brain that this is what love is. This is what life is. But listen to real love music. I'm talking about, go back a couple decades. Don't just leave it here. I mean, even if the earliest that you go back is like on some Brian McKnight. But if you go back a little further, go back into your Barry Whites, go back into your DeBarge, go back into, oh, I'm dating myself. Good Lord. Go back into your, your disco cuts. Because a lot of disco cuts, they were creeping, but they did it so smooth, so respectfully that you couldn't even be mad. It's almost like the woman would have to be like, yeah, I know. Yeah, whatever. Fine. Some of the cuts are just so electric and cryptic in the way that, they did what they did. There was some pride and some class involved. It wasn't just, bend over and I'm going to hit it and split it and cut it and, I run to you like I run to the corner store, and, you remind me of the days I used to beat it up. Like, why are we listening to that? That's not vibrating love. That's vibrating lust. And some people are vibrating lust, and that's okay too, I guess. And I've vibrated lust before. I'm not standing in judgment like, oh my goodness, I never knew about that. I have vibrated in lust. I will put it out there, yes. But at the same time, I know that vibrating in love is more the direction that is suited long-term, and it's suited for what it is that I want to do. So be the orchestrator of that. Find that good music. Go in and find those melodies, find that bass line, find those drums, find that angelic voice, find, all of those components together and go, yeah, that's really me right there. So just keep in mind that whoever is singing to us, whether it's a man or a woman, they're preaching the value to our ears. I happen to like songs that men sing, because not only are, in some ways are they singing to me, but at the same time, I resonate with a man being open and expressive enough to connect in that way, to be able to say how he feels, to be able to express everything inside of him that, he just wants to be known. I think about Erykah Badu too. I think about her. It's like, even as a singer, she says what women feel. She says what we feel. Your booty might be bigger, but I still can pull your nigga, but I don't want them. Dun, 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 dun. Whatever they have going on. The energy is just energy. It doesn't mean you have to act on it. It doesn't mean you don't have to act on it. Energy is energy. But that doesn't mean that I want somebody else's pick, somebody else's man. I personally feel like I deserve something that is vast and wide enough for me. And if I do say so myself, I'm a lot of woman to handle. So, I feel like, having that experience or that expression is more relevant than having just a man, or just saying I got a man, or just saying, he's interested in me. So what? That is cool. That is great. But you have to understand that there are people out there that will be interested in you. But what do they have in mind in terms of that interest? And how are they going to express that interest? How are they going to turn that shininess that they feel for you with them or on their own? How do they translate that shininess? Because if they translate shininess And I do mean translate shininess. There's a way to translate shininess to keep the shininess going. And for some of you men out there that just hitting it and hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, and women too, you already know that if you keep doing that, then the shininess gets dulled. It gets masked. But we know, or some of us know, that the shininess is gone because you are doing something a little too often and too much and to the wrong people and in the wrong places. And it might feel great, but yeah, you might want to kind of break it down a little bit and say, maybe if I recycle that energy, then not spilling that energy, then I can keep some of my shininess. So you might have to learn how to say no sometimes. Nothing wrong with that. Saying no is good. Saying no is good. At least saying maybe later is better, you know, than just doing what it is you want to do as you want to do it. So say no. Occasionally, you know, say maybe. Think about it. Check it out. Change your mind. Retract. You know, cut it off. Stop. Because by the time you get to that pure carnal energy where you're talking about hitting it and splitting it and busting it and tearing it up and knocking it out, like by the time you get to the point that you're just like on all of these, you know, vernaculars that are about, you know, by the time you're there, let's just say there's something else you're looking for. It's not that. It's something else you're looking for. And it may be touch. It may be touch. You know, a lot of men and women out here are touch deprived, you know, loosening the body up, untensing the body. On Facebook, my name was Magic Toes for a while. And Magic Toes comes from a couple of different places, but one place it definitely comes from is my extreme foot fetish. I have a foot fetish. I ain't ashamed of it. I'll touch your feet too. And my foot fetish is a two-way street. I enjoy feet, and I like people enjoying my feet. And there's nothing wrong at all with having a foot fetish. I mean, I think it is the most amazing thing. It is the most amazing thing to have a foot fetish. It is the most amazing thing to have a foot fetish. I think so. And a foot fetish for me is just about this art of speaking to someone's body without it becoming anything more than being sensual, appealing to their senses. Being sensual is different than being sexual. And I think our predominant culture is very sexual. So we have to actually move into what's sensual. You know, how do you cultivate that shininess from the inside out? What are you eating? A lot of people talk about aphrodisiacs. Are you consuming aphrodisiacs? Why not? You know, I remember there was a party I had, and those of you in the know are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But I had a party, and there were 2 different punches that I made for this party. And one punch was, you know, just like a regular punch with liquor in it. The other punch, as some people call it, the light skin punch, disappeared so quick. I don't know how quick that punch disappeared. But this punch had Damiana and Muripama in it. And so those are 2 tinctures that you use to invigorate. People thoroughly enjoyed that. And also, I would say I thoroughly enjoyed it. But it was the first punch to go. It ran so quickly. There were over 100 people at this party, and this punch just disappeared. This was my party, my last monumental birthday. The party was called Aphrodisiac, and it was supposed to be a exploration through the senses. We did a little show in the middle of the party. I did some body rolling at the party and got my birthday tips. And so, yeah, there were a few things going on. If you were at the party, shout out to my family that was at the Aphrodisiac party, man. And the party, I think, ended at like 6 or 7 a.m. with breakfast. We were all, you know, having breakfast. And this was just good times, man, good times. So I say all of that to say you have to look and think about what it is that makes you feel so shiny, enjoyable. There's another level of creativity that you can bring to your unique expression. Whatever your underlying personality is, that's what should be lying under your clothes. How you like that? And then in addition to that, you know, waist beads, you know, different, you know, forms of adornment. I love big earrings. I make these earrings. I love amazingly big earrings. And it's because they have their own expression. Just having those things that make you feel great, whether it's the way you deck out your bedroom or, you know, the things that you do. I used to have 22 stairs that used to lead up to my house. It was 25 outdoors, I think, and 22 indoors. When company would come by, I had a tea light candle on every stairs, and all the lights were out. So when you came in, you just came up this flight of stairs with candles. You came into this very clean, beautiful house, and there are candles everywhere, and it's just open space. It's just, that house was legendary. Some things happened in that house. And I say some things as in there were a lot of people that fell through the house, and it was just a magical energy in there. I built up my own juju in that house so that when people came by, they felt relaxed and comfortable, and they felt that their senses were being attended to, and they felt very much like they were enjoying this space that was cultivated for them. And it was around this time, a few years back, that I went on this journey where I fulfilled myself with love for an entire month. Just love and love and love and love and love and more love. And so that journey was just, I can't even describe. That journey was just monumental in getting to where I am now. You know, just watching as many love films as you can. And I'm not talking about necessarily all the popular ones, but watch a couple of foreign films. Watch a couple of, you know, films with subtitles, and just see how in other cultures love is defined. You know, what is considered suitable love, what is considered taboo, what is considered romantic. Just check out some different films. You know, take yourself on a field trip, whether that is for your massage or, you know, something sensual, or whether that is for taking yourself somewhere where you just indulge in some really delicious, amazing food that's good for you, tastes good, and invigorates your senses. Or whether you go out of town and you go on your own eat, pray, love journey, and you go somewhere and meet amazing, wonderful people and just connect with them. One of my things that I have to do and I have to find, I have to get a tandem massage. Period. I must get a tandem massage. We're at the beginning of March. My birthday is literally in the next couple of days, okay? And these videos are going to keep going after my birthday. We're counting down to my birthday, but they're going to keep going. And I'm going to tell you that me getting a tandem massage is like the apex of sensual massage. And just get that tandem massage from some professionals, of course, and just experience what that feels like to have 4 hands running up and down my body and just attending to all of my needs, and experience skilled hands, you know, not just, oh, I'm gonna rub on your body, make you feel good, girl, but, you know, some real experienced hands that can knead the body and give the body what it needs. So, wow, vibrating love is really amazing, you know, and generate something too. That's another part of vibrating love. It's just taking what you feel for people and creating something from it. And I think that's one of the most heartfelt gifts that I've ever received, is when somebody has said, you know, I thought about you the other day and I made this for you. Even if I don't understand what they made, or even if it's not something I can wear, if it's just a trinket or something I can look at, those are the most heartfelt gifts. A few of my friends, you know, my brother Omu Ra, what up, Omu Ra, Dale, Goldie Gold. These cats, you know, drew pictures of me. You know, when they were looking at some of my other pictures, they used my pictures as a photo reference. People that I hardly knew. I've never met Goldie Gold in person. I've never met Dale in person. But they are my dear friends, and they drew pictures of me. Omu Ra has been my brother, you know, in kindred spirit for I don't know how many years. Feels like over a decade at this point. And he drew a picture of me. He painted an illustration of me. It was crazy. So I just really want everyone to just think, like, when you put yourself out there as the individual human expression that you are, it inspires other people. It invigorates other people. And on that note, keep vibrating love. Feel good about yourself. I don't care if it's snowing, raining, you got a man, don't have a man, you're married, you're not married, you're with a woman, you're not with a woman, your woman left you, your man left you. So what? Vibrate love. There's an unlimited supply. Go get you some. Love you. Peace. Namaste. Mwah.